Week 5, you can do this. You have finished up modules 1 and 2. And so now we're shifting from the interpersonal portion of our course to the public speaking portion of our course. I know this is going to be the more difficult part of the course, but you've already put in so much work. Let's keep going. So this week, on week 5, you're going to read the majority of the material that you're going to need for modules 3 and module 4. In module 4, we'll add one more chapter about persuasive speaking, but this week is going to be reading heavy. And I want you to lean into that because you won't have to read hardly anything else towards the rest of the class. It'll be more practical application. As you read the chapters this week, realize that you're not going to be quizzed on the chapters. Read it like an instruction manual because you're going to have to apply the instructions on the product of your speech. So we're diving right into informative speaking. So looking at chapter 11, you're going to learn about the nature of formal presentations. First, you'll talk about the topic and topic selection, and that leads us right into our first exercise this week. You're going to have to let me know which topic you have selected for the informative speech, which culture you are going to be informing your audience about. And so that will be a quick document that you drop into the Dropbox, and most likely it will be approved if you follow the instructions for selection. And then, of course, your chapter will go into audience analysis. Now, you get to select your own audience. That is the beauty of taking this course online. So you have to have 5 audience members, and you are allowed to pick who those audience members are as long as they meet the minimum age requirement of 12 years of age. Note also that your audience members have to be visible during your speech. So that means you have to be able to see them. Now, I need to see them at the beginning of the speech to verify them that you have a live audience, because that is what makes this a public speech. They can be live in person, they can be live virtually through FaceTime or Zoom or some kind of technology that we have access to, but you need to be able to see them so that you can react non-verbally to their and verbally to their nonverbal communication signals to you. So make sure that they're comfortable and okay with that. Remember, I'm the only one that will be viewing the video of your speech and seeing them, so it is rather private for this purpose. Note also there is a third option, another option, in addition to selecting your own in-person audience or virtual audience, or even a combination of both. You can have an audience of your classmates. If we have at least 4, preferably 5 students who want to collaborate, we can set up a time where you meet either in person. Our library on campus on the Chattanooga State campus, Chattanooga site is great for that, or we can set up a virtual meeting where you can give the speeches for each other as audience members. So no, that's also an option, but that audience analysis, the audience confirmation form will be dropped into the Dropbox. And it's great to have those audience members in mind as you read the instructions in chapter 11, guiding you to audience analysis. You'll also learn about research and evidence and using those in your speech. And then you'll also talk about some of the aspects of public speaking. Next, you'll move right into reading chapter 12. But I want to emphasize that chapter 12 is on organizing your speech. And this chapter we will put into practical application during week 6. Next week is when you will write your outline for your speech. So you can read through this chapter now, or you can set it aside and read it next week, but you're going to apply what you learn in this chapter next week when you write your outline. And then, of course, you will move into reading chapter 13 is on delivery. Of course, we will apply the delivery aspect of this chapter in week 7, which is the week that you rehearse and record your speech for your live audience. So the chapter on delivery breaks delivery up into 2 aspects. You have the vocal delivery side, and then you also have the physical delivery side. And so this chapter will walk you through both of those. And then the format of this speech, when you get to that section of the chapter, we are looking for an extemporaneous style speech where you use notes, but you don't read every word. And that's a common mistake that students in this class have. This chapter will also talk about communication apprehension, and I know this is something that a lot of students, myself included, struggle with. And so feel free to reach out to me in an email and let me help you through any communication apprehension that you may have in this course. It is a real struggle, and it is something that I understand personally, and it is something that I want to help you walk through so that you can achieve your academic and career dreams. Do not let communication apprehension stand in the way of completing this course, of accomplishing your dream, of walking across that graduation stage, and let me help you. And then, of course, the chapter also talks about visual aids. We do not require visual aids for the purposes of this course, but they are very effective in other public speaking scenarios. So that's something that you'll want to just read kind of for your information. Chapter 14 deals specifically with informative style speaking, which is our first speech. So definitely pay attention to that. And then after you complete your topic selection and audience confirmation, the last assignment for this week will be diving into the research. So that's where you'll find more instructions in the course, but that's where the chapter 11 on research and evidence use will be helpful as you work on the research assignment. Next week, you're going to do the outline, like I mentioned, and then the following week is the rehearsal and then the presentation of this speech. Then we're done with Module 3, and we'll head into our last module, Module 4.